Hey, everyone. How are you doing? Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me or in the chat? Tell me in the chat if you can hear me. Hello, hello. Can anyone hear me? Yeah. Hey, can you hear me, Mike Max? By chance? Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. All righty.
Great. We're good.
All right. So we have we do have a new mic. And didn't get it until this afternoon. So guess who is learning how to use it? It's me. In last minute. So we have our guest on with us. We're going to bring on Steph with North Shore Bronco. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. Highly recommend after our stream, of course. And what's up, buddy?
There's one problem. It says video like restricted.
Oh, okay. So anyway, can you see the video?
No, it says video restricted.
Everybody else can see us.
I'm gonna restart YouTube real quick.
Okay. Anyway, Gavin's our behind-the-scenes tech guy. But anyway, if you haven't seen Steph's channel, North Shore Bronco, really good content. A lot of action stuff in the snow, accessories, a little back and forth, and so it's that perfect blend. That's why I started watching it. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, after our stream, go check out his channel. And we're going to bring Steph in right now. Oh, by the way, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but we got our Eruption Green Badlands today. Hey, let's see, Do 51, how's it going? Thank you for that. Friday. Blueford, Robin O'Malley, Mark, Overlanding, Mike Max. I saw some more people in here. We're going to go ahead and add Steph here. Here we go. Steph, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, thanks for joining us. So like the running little thing around here is my technical stuff.
Yes.
And I tell you, one of these days I'm going to buy Dave with All Terrain Nation a plane ticket out here and have him come out here and show me how this is done.
Yep.
Now we have some good technology here. So anyway, so your channel, I started watching it when you were like 600 subs.
Okay.
And it just seemed like a few weeks or maybe it was a couple months, I don't know. And I looked, and you were right there at 1,000, and now you're over 1,000.
Yeah, I'm at 1,200 right now. Yeah,
1,200. Awesome. So your growth on that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's going really well. I started in October, so
yeah, that's fast.
And if you want my opinion, it's a good balance between action, like I just said in the intro, and accessories, and moving the top by yourself. A lot of people want to know, can I take a top off a Bronco by myself?
Yeah.
And then you did it at least on a 2-door. But what'd your thumbnail say on that? Do you remember? I think you said not smart
idea or something.
Yeah, bad idea. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Did you see the video of me trying to put it back on by myself?
I did. It sort of looked like, those old manuals that showed all the car parts out in the yard. You had doors off and the top off. And I'm like, good luck, buddy, putting it back together.
Well, I just wanted to see, because I've owned a few Jeep Wranglers with the hard tops, and I've taken the hard top off a Jeep Wrangler by myself, but it's a lot heavier. So, and I was a lot younger when I did it. So I just wanted to see how hard it would be and what I would need to build to be able to do it by myself. So, and it's not too bad. So I think I'm just going to build myself like a wooden frame that I can back up to, lift, and just slide it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, see, I wasn't worried about the hardtop stuff until Friday when we took delivery of our Eruption Green Badlands. So we'll get into all that later. But so let me ask you a question. Where do you go off-roading? Is this your property?
It's my father's property, actually.
Nice.
Well, he owns like 90 some acres, and I actually own the 2 acres in the front I bought years ago. But yeah, it's his wood lot in the back. So we go there to harvest our firewood and all that, and it's just the perfect place. I can go and play, and I don't have to worry. It's our land, so we kind of do what we want.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Well, around here, it's difficult. I live in southeastern Virginia, and so we have to drive a distance, to find somewhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have some mad farmer that you went real into.
Oops.
Oh, it's nice. No, I'm very grateful that our family has this land. I mean, it's 10
Yeah.
minutes from where my house, and there's also a lot of areas around there too that we can go. But
Well,
yeah,
let me ask you a question. So have you always been into cars and trucks and stuff like that, or is this something that's happened later in life, or what's that backstory there?
I've always been into something. Like when I was younger, it was motorcycles, so I always liked tinkering with uh, my motorcycle. I had a Suzuki SV650. It was like a sport touring bike, and
Wow.
I love adding things to it, like changing the handlebars, heated seat, the wiring through the heated grips, just adding accessory ports, and I enjoy tinkering with things. So
Just
it's
led into bigger things to tinker with, right?
yeah.
So are you a Ford family, or are you just like the Bronco, or how did that work out?
Well, we always liked Fords. My father always had F-150s when I was growing up, and then when me and my wife got together, she had a Ford Ranger. We, always liked Rangers, and then we had a couple of F-150s, and now I do work at a Ford dealership now, so it kind of swayed us.
Oh yeah,
We were already heavy into Ford, but now
yeah,
it's just a no-brainer.
I got you. Yeah. So did you watch the reveal by chance? Is that when you reserved yours, or?
Oh yes, I was hitting refresh until
Yeah,
You're lucky enough to get it.
Ford.ca site just kept crashing.
yeah, you and me
Right.
both. You and me both,
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
was so frustrated. I know people had multiple computers they were doing it with.
oh really? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
everybody was trying to get on, right? So no, I was a day one, and yeah, no, I got mine end October or mid October. I got my Bronco finally.
Right. So you picked. We can tell everybody what you picked.
Okay, well, it was oh god, I changed maybe 1,000 times, um, but until we had to finalize the order. I got a two-door Badlands, non-Sasquatch with high package. And the reason I went non-Sasquatch is I wanted manual. To me, this was going to be a fun vehicle, and I had to have a manual. I love driving stick, and it's just, and I had 15 months of research to do. So I already had my tires ordered, my rims with an offset. I basically did a self-squatch. Is what I call it.
Self-squatch.
Yeah,
I
because
love it.
I put 35s on it. They clear, no issues whatsoever off-roading.
Right.
I've got fast HD rims on there with zero back spacing, which gives me an inch and a half out. So I'm actually 0.4 inches higher than a Sasquatch and 0.4 inches wider than a Sasquatch.
Wow.
So
It looked really good.
a little bit, you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
we were watching one of your videos, and Becky said, "Yeah, I really like the two
I
door.
do.
Why
I
didn't you
do.
get the second Bronco and a two door?" I was like, man,
I'm very partial to that now.
Yeah,
we could always get a third Bronco and two door.
I don't know.
more Broncos. Yeah.
They're multiplying like gremlins right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 2.3, something that I learned in one of your videos, and I
Mhm.
didn't know this, is that if you stall, you just mash in the clutch to refire.
Yeah, we watched that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Had no idea.
And the
Yeah.
way I noticed that by the first couple days I had it, I hadn't driven stick in maybe, well, I had driven once in a while, just driving a car here or there, but I hadn't owned a standard in maybe 10 years. So when you're not used to taking off in first, sometimes you accidentally try to take off in third.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's done that. And
Oh yeah.
that's how I learned about that function, because I felt pretty dumb. And then as soon as I hit the clutch back in, it started up, and I was able to go. And I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
We that's one of the smartest things too. Because think about it, if you're in a very precarious situation, you're off roading, you're whatever, and you stall, you don't
Mhm.
want to have to go through a bunch of stuff to refire. You just need to get it and go.
But the only problem though, well, it's not really a problem, but if you're in 4 low, it won't restart.
Huh.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
think that has to do with the crank and gear function, which I'm not 100% on. It's something about you can start it back up while in gear to help your descent or back down a hill or something like that. I got to do some more research and then I'll
Gotcha.
what with a
Yeah.
video about it. But yeah,
There was probably something in testing that didn't go as planned, so they said, let's
Kill
just
that feature.
Yeah, get rid of that part.
yeah.
I have a question though, like from someone. I haven't driven a manual transmission in several years. My concern would be going up a hill. You know, when you drive a 5-speed, or in your case, I think you have 6, but anyways,
7
or 7, excuse me.
Probably.
But you know, when you're creeping along and you let off and you start going backwards down the hill or whatever.
Yeah.
They give you 3 seconds. There's a hill assist feature.
Oh, okay.
It touches in and you let go of the brake. You'll have 3 seconds to go before you start backing off. So
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they've
they
thought
really,
about
they
that.
really thought about
Because
it.
that would be my main concern is
Yeah.
being somewhere.
yeah, and you know
Off-roading.
about it. Yeah. No, you got 3 seconds, which is plenty of time. So
But
Plenty
but
of
when you're in
time,
a bad
Betsy.
spot, 3 seconds would seem like forever, I
Yeah.
think.
So
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of your videos where you've gotten stuck. If you have you gotten stuck where you needed help getting out?
help.
Well, someone else to have to pull you out.
Well, I'm trying to think. I got stuck yesterday, which is a funny story. I was actually going up to my dad's land and he was there and we got quite a bit more snow and he packs the trail down with his ATV with tracks on it. And he keeps telling me he doesn't want me to wreck the road going to the camp. And I just want to keep going with the Bronco. So I got to the camp and he said, if you get stuck, I'm not helping you and don't wreck my road and all these warnings. Anyway, I made it maybe 100 meters on the road, but because he packs it down and it's so narrow, the middle is hard, but the sides are still soft. So I drove in and then I got high centered. So anyway, it was snow packed underneath the Bronco, and I was stuck. The wheels were just turning because they weren't hitting the ground.
Right.
I got out and I was shoveling, and then he called he was at the camp. And I said, yeah, I'm stuck. Can you come pull me out? And then he just started going like,
yeah, I told you.
I'm like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I gotta go.
And I knew he was going to come and just make fun of me. So I just shoveled faster. I was like, I'm going to get out before he gets here. And I did. So.
Hey, we had a question come in. You know, there's a lot of questions here. We'll go back through there, but I thought it was actually pretty interesting right now. Is Do51 said, "What's the price comparison between the factory Sasquatch and the Self-squatch?" So I think you started a term tonight here. So congratulations. We'll say
very
the step.
catchy.
Around on Bronco 6G.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it before.
It all depends on what you're doing and what you want out of it.
Yeah.
Canadian wise, I paid maybe $4,000 for the wheels and tires, and on the Badlands, the Sasquatch option I think was about $6,500.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Badlands, it's worth it for a couple reasons, because Badlands already starts off with the stronger diff in the front, the locking diff in the front, the back, the sway bar disconnect. So that's all the same. You still get your Bilstein shocks. It's just, I think it's 0.6 inches shorter than the lift on the Sasquatch.
Yep.
So I added actually a rough country 1-inch level. That's why it brought me up. And the other great thing is that the KO2 tires that came with the Badlands. Mm-hmm. So I forked out $4,000 to $5,000, but then I was able to sell those tires for $1,000. And the rims that came, I'd gotten the upgraded rims because I thought they were the same back spacing as the Sasquatch, but they're not. They're plus 35 instead of plus 55 instead of 35, I believe.
Right.
So, but we have a Ford Ranger, a 2021 Ford Ranger. So I just use those rims. So our Ford Ranger has Badland rims for winter tires. So it worked out. You know what I mean? Like I get
Yeah.
all that money back really from the tires and rims that were on it to buy the rims that I want. So
Yeah,
to me, I think it's worth it doing
well,
it.
that's an interesting thing when you look at Broncos too, especially people that bought a base and they're just building them up, or
Mhm.
any trim level, and you're making it your own.
Oh yeah.
I really like seeing that.
Yeah.
I mean, between someone added, I saw one. You didn't see this today. It was Eruption Green, or it was a green with a tan, like the Eddie Bauer kind of a look.
Mm.
That was
Oh,
on
with
Bronco
the stripe?
6G. That was pretty
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it all
So-
depends on what you want to do with it, because like a big bend, you can throw 35s on with the lift and everything, and it's way cheaper than a Sasquatch if you don't need the front locker, if you're just going to do light off-roading, if you don't need the sway bar disconnect. It's just, for me, I went Badlands because I wanted that front locker, because in the snow.
Yeah. Well, we've had there's a difference. So Friday we took delivery of our 22, and there's a few little things. Are your doors? And this is going to be relative, right?
Mhm.
But are your doors hard to close? Do you have to really like close them hard with the hard top on your Bronco?
No.
Yeah. So my 21 with a soft top just closes easily.
Mm-hmm.
But all four doors are equal. You really have to put some swing on them. And I thought I contributed to the hard tops just a little more airtight, right, than a soft top.
Mm-hmm. Did you check the bolts?
I haven't checked anything yet.
Because like on my hard top, a couple times after I took the doors off and put them back on, I hadn't tightened them up enough. And when they loosened off, the doors were harder to close because the hinges weren't lining up properly, or maybe those bolts are too tight. I would check those bolts.
Yeah, I'll check into that, because there's a few differences, little things, temperature, climate control, where everything is displayed. Yeah, so it's not in the handle now or in the knob; it's actually in the touchscreen. Yeah. And there's a few. I think we have a sway bar in the rear now that wasn't there in 21. There's just a few little things. I don't think it's anything major. Mm-hmm. I do know, and I can compare this, and I think we're going to try to do a video on it, that the shift points on the engine it seems different. Something's different. And I mentioned in my live stream Friday night, I figured, I don't know if you have this issue, but the lane keep in the new Bronco, it was picking up where they pre-treat in our area. There's little lines, where they spray the brine down.
Yeah.
It was actually, the lines were so white. It was picking up that and trying to move me around a little bit.
Oh, really?
I thought that was, so I wasn't on the sides of the road. I guess the camera on the mirror picks that up. But when I was driving home, I said, it's a little funny steering this one. So there's just a few little things. Of course, that was a unique situation where we never get snow here. I see your videos. I guess it snows. Well, how many days out of the year where you are?
Well, there's usually snow from November to April.
Wow.
April. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
So,
a lot.
around here, we just got
We don't get
6 inches of snow, and it's, it changes the world.
Over the past 4 years.
But I thought that was an interesting thing. Yeah, no doubt. I thought that was an interesting thing. So there's a few differences, but I wanted to ask you that because you have a hard top, and see what you have from there. So what modifications have you done to your Bronco in total?
Yeah. I just want to touch on one thing you just mentioned about your transmission, the shift points.
Yep.
The 10-speed automatic transmission has a computer in it that kind of learns your driving style. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why you find it different, because it's new.
Yeah.
To the other one. So
So
a little bit of time to get used to your driving, because it's going to change the shift points as it learns how you guys drive.
Yeah, so
it's my shift point.
Yeah. Oh well, that's yeah. We'll see how you drive when I get back in it. How's that?
It's gonna tell.
Why is it shifting at $6,000? Yeah.
No, come on.
But no, it's funny when you have two of them then, because you can really in a matter of 5 minutes, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Might make me worry about one over the other, but the Eruption Green is it's a wild color. Now, how hard is it for you to keep yours clean? Is it an issue for you, or
are you supposed to clean your Bronco?
You know, when it rains or when you hose it. Oh, well, you know, you hose. I like the putting in the fog lights video. You said, okay, well, we've got to start with hosing the mud out. And I'm like, God,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's the first step. You
Yeah,
gotta take the mud off.
hey, look, and I commend you for using it. Seriously.
Yeah. I can't keep it clean. That's the hardest part. The hardest part used to be waiting for your Bronco.
Yeah.
Once you get it, it's the hardest part is keeping it clean because it's just so much fun. You want to use it. Well, I want to use it. I didn't buy it. People are like, why are you going in the woods with that? And you're going to scratch it. And I'm like, that's what I bought it for. Like,
Thank you.
Becky gives me grief about my Area 51. So
I razz him so bad. And I have warned him, the green one's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
So the green one has scratches and dents and.
Well, no, I'm not going to abuse it, but I'm going to.
I know.
Use
Seriously,
it.
it's meant to have fun with it. And one of these days, I'm just going to go bury the Area 51 in mud somewhere, and I'll get it over with.
Like, what's a bigger waste of money? Buying something like that, using it, scratching it, getting it dirty, or paying that much money for something
and it sits
and have it sit there and do nothing.
Yep, it costs you the same either way.
Yeah, just get a poster if you don't.
It's cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper. No, I think having the green one's going to. You know, the idea was we were going to do a lot of video on it and then start getting it dirty because you can only get that clean shot underneath it once in a while. But really, the Bronco is meant for action, and it's meant for the dirt, the sand, the snow. Yeah. And you know, and going off road, and that's what we're doing. I'm just kind of playing along with the grief she gives me. When did you get your Bronco?
In mid-October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you waited a long
right
time.
before your snow season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took the top off for that video that one day. And that's it. And it was cold, but I said I have to take it for a drive, so I went downtown. And froze. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, there was two things I saw in one of your videos. And you had me laughing. I'm not going to mention the one word you used in there, but when you were passing somebody on the interstate and they sped up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you had that 2.3 going, but going through the drive-through with the GoPro on the head clamp. Yeah. I was saying, welcome to being a YouTuber, because that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah,
we were doing a trail turn assist video yesterday.
Okay. Yeah,
and she said, "I don't want to stand out in the middle of somebody's neighborhood when you're doing this." And I was like, "Welcome to YouTube."
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing when you're like in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's more common now, though, so it's not.
I know.
Who cares?
And I guess even the kids, they film everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So, what's the big plans for your Bronco in the future? Like, what's that big thing that you're going to do, or either go or mod?
Well, I'm looking at 37s.
Are you really?
Yeah. I want to go a little bit higher, but there's no, with the Badlands, the option for lift kits is a little harder. Because of the suspension.
Yeah.
So you can't, I think Zone Off-Road just came out with a 3-inch lift kit where you change the upper control arms. I know Rough Country's coming out with something. BDS has their coilover kit, but that's like $6,000. So I don't want to go that expensive. So I'm just waiting to see what comes out. But when possible, I'd like to go up to 37-inch tires.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, that's the fun part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your tires aren't so loud, are they? Because I heard the one video you're on the interstate, you could slightly hear them, but they did not sound like they were.
Toyo Open Countries, I'm really impressed with those tires. Yeah, for a mud terrain.
Yeah.
How smooth they are on the highway, it's crazy. And they're actually not that bad in the snow and ice. I mean, they're not a winter tire.
Yep.
They're not a snow or ice tire, but I don't slip around all that much.
Yeah, they look really good on it. Hey, All Terrain Nation, thank you very much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it.
And go up to, I believe it's Nurse
AJ.
Yes.
Steph, I want to read one of these comments over here.
Yeah.
Omega, hearing you want, yeah.
Nurse AJ, we're just gonna have to mute the voices.
Yeah. So
and just use the Broncos.
So Steph, there's somebody else that doesn't want to get theirs messed up quite yet too.
Mhm.
So I'm not the only one, but
No,
anyway.
but and we're all in agreement here. If you're gonna pay for it,
Yeah,
just
Use it.
use it.
I know.
I'm not saying destroy it like
I'm
demolition derby.
I'm
or
giving my own
anything.
self grief because I'm just playing along. But yes, it does. I just really wanted to get this content, but you'll be happy to know I drove this in salt and sand, the new one.
Yeah.
I mean, it started snowing on our way home Friday from the dealer.
And
I'm
this,
like,
he's a wild and crazy guy.
Some
so-
people pay $40,000 for a side by side.
yeah.
I
So
know.
You know, you said that in one of your videos, and it made
Yeah.
total sense.
yeah. Well, to me, I'm Canadian, so 40.
Yeah.
My MSRP on my Badlands was 58, just to give you an idea. So
Gotcha.
what about paying that for a side by side?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's not
I
bad.
can take mine on the road.
Yeah, and you have a you
Trail.
you have a
And
chainsaw in the back. How many people have a chainsaw in the back of their Bronco?
Anybody else? No. No one?
You're the only person I've seen so far. So yeah, I was watching that video and you were talking about the side by side. And I said, you know, he has a good point. This one you can take on the road.
That's
You can
true.
go everywhere.
And you're paying just a smidge
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So what tomorrow they're going to reveal the details of the Bronco Raptor, 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, All Terrain Nation, thank you again for that. I really do appreciate you each and every week. Mike, Max, Kevin, Dude 51. Let's see, Michigan Bronco. Blah, blah. I guess there's another conversation going on in the chats there, but
Mike
so-
Max is gonna put a chainsaw on his Bronco. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
no. Oh, he said he will. Yeah, so maybe.
Oh,
Let's
there you
see
go.
here.
Good idea. Nurse AJ, hey, how's it going? I was talking to her in the comments on my channel at one point. I found it was funny because my wife's name is Amy Jo, and she's a nurse.
Oh, funny. Oh,
And we
wow.
call her Nurse AJ. So
That's cool.
Yeah. Cece said nothing worse than never achieving your life's purpose. I feel sad for the Broncos who will never get to play in the dirt.
yeah,
To be renamed the Gelding. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I love it, Cece.
yeah, she has horses, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was actually
Taking
pretty.
the stallion down a notch.
Yeah, that was actually pretty thoughtful. There.
yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
so Steph, the first den I put in mine, I'll make sure I send you a picture of it. How's that?
I guess
So,
so.
I took one for the team.
Well, my car that's sitting in the garage now for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I guess I've already, I scratched it, a couple months ago, unfortunately. So I sustained the first bad scratch.
Yeah.
And then it got whacked by someone else in a parking lot a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
No.
Well, but that's not having fun with it though.
no,
That
and it
was going-
wasn't fun.
That
Yeah,
that was going grocery shopping.
I know.
And you get nailed.
I know.
So, where are you? What part of Canada?
Eastern Canada in New
Okay.
Brunswick. So
Got it.
right above Maine, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Next to Maine. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
probably an odd question, but did you go with the block eater, the crankcase eater?
I think I have one, but I haven't used one of those in
In years?
10, 15 years. I mean,
Okay.
it's not the technology of way back, I guess. Like the engines just start now.
Yeah, they crank up.
Issue.
You know,
Yeah.
it depends on the weather where you are. I mean, you're in some cold. I mean, some of the coldest, I guess. But as someone that's put a lot of engines together, I do understand the wear and tear that happens when they're cold. But
Mhm.
Ford does a lot of in the critical places. They put a low friction coating on this, especially the pistons,
Mm.
and so that's really it takes a little bit while to get that oil going. They actually have a spec. I don't know if you've seen in the owner's manual for a 0-30 oil in extra cold climates.
Yeah,
should-
I've seen that. But that's like we're talking Northwest Territories and like Manitoba, maybe Northern Manitoba, like below 40
Hey.
type of weather.
And by the way, I just had a text from D over at Win Ford. I'd say in a lot of my videos, but hey, D, how are you doing? She closed the deal on the Eruption Green Badlands for us the other day, Friday, and it went
Thank you,
seamless.
G.
I want to say this too on this. Yeah, it was great. How many times do you go to get your Bronco and you're there with somebody getting a Ford GT delivered?
I'm sorry I missed that. I saw the video.
It was
Oh
a
my
big
gosh.
event. They had the big reliable car carriers come in, and it was the owner. I talked to the new owner. He's a super nice guy, just ecstatic. Who wouldn't be, right? And it was a cool experience. So I'm there getting the Bronco, and there's this Ford GT, and I'm thinking, man, what a day. And the snow was coming in, so it's like, okay. Man,
Yeah,
let's.
Lots
you
going on.
out with this GT that day.
I was in overwhelm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it was staying inside for a little bit from there. But did you have any issues when you were buying yours? Did you pay what you thought? I guess it's different for you. Or were you working at the dealership when you took delivery?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so you probably didn't have any grief.
Manager at our dealership here, Hathaway Ford in Bathurst.
Oh,
yeah.
Good
So,
deal. Well, like I
our
said, we've had a
owner-
great experience.
Yeah. No, our the owner of the dealership is extremely nice. Nobody's paid above MSRP for any Bronco. Everybody's gotten their price for all the reservations. Like there's zero issues like that here.
Yeah, that's absolutely all. And I hate hearing it. So we feel, thank God, we feel isolated from it because we've had great experience. So it's not an issue for us. And so I guess that's the other thing. I tell everyone now, check with the allocation at the dealer, but if you haven't ordered, because that says a lot of it, when you're going to get it.
Yeah.
So do you have any plans for another Bronco in the future, or?
Maybe we have a Ranger. I'm trying to convince the wife to switch a Ranger for a 4-door Bronco.
There you go.
So yeah, we got some stuff in the works there.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Because you do have the 2-door, and you do have a family.
Yes.
And it's still fairly functional without having the 4 doors. Is what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Well, I told Becky there's just the only issues where the seats are located. You lose the because you're between the rear fender wells with the 2-door versus the 4-door. The tires are slightly behind. Yeah. And I was explaining you get one more person in there.
Area.
Yep.
It's probably about half.
Yeah, I know that's a bit smaller.
The middle seat in the back.
Yep.
But we just shot a video. I shot a video with the whole family this weekend, so I don't want to touch too much about it.
Right. We'll have to wait.
Watch my
Don't
video
spill the beans.
It's actually pretty good, and we go into detail on what it's like to own a Bronco, a 2-door Bronco, as a family of 4 with 2 dogs. So,
with 2 dogs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are we talking large dogs or little dogs?
No.
Oh, they have you. Don't you have a doodle?
Yeah, but no, it's a poodle. She's a.
Oh, okay.
Lucy.
Is she full
we
size?
we have a golden doodle. So
yeah, she's about 80 pounds.
She's.
She's sapped out, taking a break.
Hey, dog's had a busy day.
No, she's tired.
Yeah.
We call her our little horse. So.
Yeah.
And then we have a little white one.
All right, so
a little guy.
So I have the question for you about the snow maneuverability. So I went through the neighborhood the other night. At the time I went through, maybe we had 4 inches on the road.
Yeah.
And of course I wasn't high speed and other cars. I was in too high. and I told Becky, I was like, I was kind of hoping the thing would slip and slide, so I have a real good excuse to put it in 4-wheel drive. Yeah. So I did go in slippery mode, and how you go into 4 auto or 4A. Yeah. You could really tell it just feels like the thing it grabs the ground, right? Yeah. But I was amazed at how well the 4-door does in too high in the snow.
The traction control is just impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Like I've put it in too high and taken traction control off to do donuts. Anyway. But it's just, and that's why I think that I feel like the mud terrains are not as bad in the snow and ice, is because the technology behind the traction control is so good. Yeah. And especially I put it in 4 automatic or 4A or whatever it is. And like, I just go, Like it doesn't matter how much ice or snow, it just goes. Like it's amazing.
It's easy.
Steph, we're gonna go through some of these comments here. Bronco 78. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to fit 5 kids, 2 dogs, and yeah.
Wow.
Let me know how you do that.
You better pack them in.
Yeah, that's a video there.
Watch my video. You'll
how to stack your Bronco.
Check out North Shore Bronco. When will that video be released? Next week?
You know what? I don't know. I'm trying to decide on a day. Do you release like on a set day every week? Like I know you have your live.
Yeah. So our live is just because no one else had a live at the time, and and I was a builder for a TV show, and the show came on Sunday nights, and we started. That's where Extreme Bronco came from.
Oh, okay.
So I figured, what the heck? Extreme Makeover used to come on every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So why not? So that's the little tag there.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, vidIQ, who we use as a software, and it to help us with YouTube, to help with everything, they do recommend times of the day. You can get into days of the week, but I'm so across the board and with this stuff. I'm just, as soon as the video is done, I want to release it because if I'm doing a video, I want people to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really no set date unless it's like tomorrow. There's going to be Bronco Raptor videos out of the ears, and I'll be one contributing to that. So there's a lot of that, so tomorrow will be a big upload day. But I think between 6 p.m. Now this is at least United States, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime after 6 on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pay for TubeBuddy. Same type of thing.
Same principle.
So
yeah.
I do see it, and it's 6 to 9. But I want to pick a day, so I'm thinking maybe I want a Friday or Thursday. So Thursday or Friday.
Well,
closer to the weekend.
There is a belief out there, and it's probably correct, is that predictability. That's why we're here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we should pick a day for our uploads for our videos. A couple of days.
Well, you want your audience to know when your videos will come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I uploaded one last night because we did the walk around of. It was a weird walk around too, with the snow everywhere, and I already had dirt on it. And normally I do this when it's clean.
Right.
But what the heck? I want everyone to see this thing.
Well, I just feel like when we picked it up, or I didn't even get to pick it up, I was still working, but it's just a whirlwind kind of thing. So much going on. And then
you're driving, you leave the dealership with it detailed, and you're on salt and sand. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And he actually let our daughter Haley drive the other one.
See, I'm not a total stiff.
Oh my gosh. She's 17. She'll be 18 in February, but I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny. So around here, there's not a lot of Broncos out in the wild. And so, you're sitting at a light and people are looking over at you and turning around their seat, looking back. They're like, my God, I haven't seen one. Now there's 2 in a row. So it was kind of a funny trip home. Actually, I saw Race Red today, Outer Banks today.
Oh, okay.
So they're starting to show up in the wild. What were we talking about? Let's comments here. Pavement. Have you ever talked to the Pavement Ends Now? They're up your way somewhere, right?
Yeah, someone commented that they were in, is it Manitoba?
Pavement Ends
Canada?
Now.
Did I mispronounce that? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, someone here commented earlier that
Pavement
that's
Ends
where
Now.
they live.
I'm going to 60 said, hey guys, love the Eruption Green.
Yeah, the green is really pretty.
Yeah, let's see, some point. Yeah, I'm going through. Sorry, these comments here. Do you I want to try to make sure somebody has a big question.
On the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, so
okay,
a little ways.
A lot of distance, huh?
Oh yeah. It's complete different coasts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, videos are great. So, what is there something on the Bronco you don't like, or is that not something you want to talk about?
Something.
Just being honest. Something you don't like about it. I have a crazy
I don't
problem.
like how everybody calls it a Jeep.
Oh no, really?
Are you serious?
That always drove me nuts about everything because
we have not had that.
I do like Jeeps. But like my mom calls her Escape a Jeep, and it drives me nuts.
Oh yeah, just because. Size
and my dad just won't stop. Don't bring your Jeep and get yourself stuck on my road.
Oh no.
So that's one of the things. I'm glad you said that. even though I'm a Ford guy, I don't get violent with the whole Jeep Bronco thing. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
Jeep,
yeah, no, for sure. I still love Jeeps. Yeah.
yeah, Jeep. One thing about Jeep is, that company, the Jeep itself has obviously sold a lot of vehicles, and if they weren't selling, Ford would have never come out with the Bronco.
No, for sure.
I mean, so we kind of owe them that for sticking it out into space and keeping people interested. But now what's happened is the Broncos come out, and it's better than the Jeep in probably every category, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. It's like
so
it's beat it by this much in each category.
Yeah, I mean, of course, some people talk about the hinges on the Jeep versus the Bronco, but look, I like that clean look.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine said, "Hey, it looks like an International Scout, not a Bronco." And I said, "Well, that's a compliment. I like Scouts too." So it's all fun and games. We were in the snow the other night. I couldn't believe how many Jeeps were out.
Yeah, there were tons.
Just everywhere.
We saw several stuck when we were sledding the other day too.
So yesterday,
everyone was.
We have a
stuck.
picture I was going to put on Instagram. There was like 10 people pushing this Jeep out of the mud.
Oh my gosh!
And I would have borderline blown that 2.7 up before I'd get pushed out by 6 people out of that little bit of mud. But yeah, I think the Broncos. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, Cece says the initial reveal of the green seemed very dark, but your video and a few others make it look much better. I'll see one in real life next week. The color is, I don't think the pictures do it justice. In the light, it's amazing. I'm not to be honest, a huge dark green fan at all. But it's got so much metal flake in it. I call it glitter, but the sparkle.
Sparkle, sorry.
Sparkle.
But it's so beautiful. When the light hits it, it has it's like an ombre color to me. It's just a lot of gold in it, and it's really pretty. I do like it a lot. And it's different right now because I don't think there's another car on the road that I'm familiar with right now. And that's not saying too much, I guess, but that is that same color. So it does stand out. In my opinion, it's different. And I like different stuff. So,
Steph, today was the first day because I haven't seen an Eruption Green in person. And Friday, it was cloudy when the truck passed me going down the road. I knew it was mine. I did a U-turn and took off after it. It was cloudy. It was cloudy Friday when I got it. And of course, yesterday, the sun started to come out. Today, though, was pretty clear. And it almost has this goldish orange hue to it.
It's really
so it brightens up dramatically in the sunlight. So it's a different color. Somebody was talking about Jeep has a solid front axle. Yeah, they do. And that's the IFS is a lot better ride on the Bronco.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So
hugs the road better.
So when I would need a solid axle is a whole lot less than I need IFS. So
that's a good point.
That's how I look at it. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I
don't know. I like the independent. Isn't that what my Rover has?
Oh yeah,
because that thing just adjusts to the road. You don't ever feel like you're coming off the road. She's really
spoiled.
Nice.
She has a vehicle that when you go into a corner, it doesn't allow body roll. It levels it out.
It really levels. It's nice.
I'm like, you don't know what Livin's driving the Bronco.
No. Livin is driving the old Expedition when I would take the exit ramps and you're sliding in your seat to the door.
I hear you. Jeep was a lower, So, we you can get into the Jeep history stuff, but you know what? Bronco they filled the void that was there for people like me.
The competition's going to be good now.
It's going to be great. It's going to up Jeep's game.
Going to improve.
Yep.
Which is great.
And now someone commented here, Miles Weeks comment, Jeep has better colors. Yeah, they've got the rainbow of colors. You have to give them credit for that.
Yeah, I told Becky here, I said the Jeep dealership down, it looks like a Skittles bag.
It does. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
and
they're
pretty.
just like every color out there.
Our neighbor down the street has a purple one.
As long as I can get black, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, how's your Jeep doing today, Steph? No, I don't want to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. So like I said, how much work do you actually do in the Bronco though? I mean, I've seen the chainsaw in it and you drive through your property and but I mean, do you tow anything with it out of there or
just firewood? I have a video on that. I fill up about half a quart of firewood at a time and I tow it out.
Huh? I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's just faster. I used to go in with the truck and with a 4-wheeler and unload the 4-wheeler, go cut the wood, leave it there, then go back and forth with the 4-wheeler, towing it or hauling the wood to the road and then loading it up in the trailer there. But now when the Bronco was announced, I just kind of decided I sold my 4-wheeler and I said, I'm going to get the Bronco and I'm going to use it for everything.
Yeah. I need to try to.
The only thing I need to do is widen the trails a little bit. And it's just a lot faster process for me to go. And I have the little fold down table. I sharpen my chainsaw, fill it up with fuel. It's actually nice when you get to your location, you open the tailgate, put the table down, and I can sit in the back. It just sets you up. You got all your stuff there. I like it.
Yeah. Cool. So did you go with the Ford accessory fold down table?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any noise with yours
Nope.
when it's up?
No, I think, do you have one?
I have one on my Area 51, and yeah, we did a video on the installation, and the installer had a fix for that. And no, I have zero noise.
Yeah, but I think that it's people that are having the noise or not installing it properly. It actually comes with rubbers to put
Yep.
on the inner tape. Like either they're not putting that in, or it's not tightened. Like you can adjust it like so that it's straight, so that it folds up straight.
Right.
I think it's just not installed properly.
Yeah, and then they make those little plastic sleeves, not just the grommets, but the pieces that go on the top of the bracket that keeps the bracket from hitting the rear swing gate. Well, what he did was he doubled up on the washers, and what he did was he shortened the depth of the screw. And he added a washer on each side of the grommet, which kept the grommet from collapsing so much.
Okay.
And that was his theory. And then, of course, he had already, some of the first one put on a screw went through the outer skin of the rear swing gate.
Yeah.
So he was very conscious of that. And so he shortened the depth up by adding the washers to it. Zero noise from mine, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And someone asked me about the MIC top if I have any clicking noise. Well, I only have 52 miles on it now. And so that's not enough to test it. But so far, none.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I have so much stuff in the back of my Bronco.
You don't know what's clicking. Is it the chainsaw?
And I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be fun to see out of the two of us who gets stuck first, who's the better off-roader, who's a little braver. And it's going to be fun to see how
I don't know, but if I end up getting stuck, I don't think I'm going to call and tell him. I'll have to figure it out on my own.
Get in for low, put your both lockers on, and just get out.
Don't want to have to admit
let it rip. Yeah, it's all fun and games.
I know. I'm just kidding.
So maybe a Bronco one day in the future to replace the Ranger. Now, what year's the Ranger? Is it
21?
Oh, you just serious? Got it.
I work at a dealership, and it's probably the worst place in the world for me to work because
I bet
I love trucks, and my wife is not one to stop me because she also loves trucks.
Yeah.
So it's not hard for me to convince her that we need the new one. Or
hey, so there's a comment here. Do 51. If that rear table is making noise, there's a video. The video really doesn't show in detail, but I could message you if you go to my Instagram page and just send me a message, and I'll message back the process. And you could even take a picture and send it to me. I can show the installer. He can probably tell you exactly what to do with it because we have zero noise from ours. Let's see here. Yeah. So I haven't had. Like I said, I haven't had any of the, and I probably shouldn't say this loud. I haven't had any of the issues I see a lot of people having. The 2.3, are you going to add an oil catch can by chance, or are you not into the performance side of the engine?
I don't think I'm going to bother.
Okay.
2.3's been out for a couple of years now. I haven't seen, like I said, I work at a Ford dealership.
Yep.
Knock on wood, I haven't really seen any issues with the 2.3 engine, so
Yeah, no, it's a great engine.
Yeah, no, it's we've had it. This is our second Ranger. We had a 2019 as well, so I was very familiar with the 2.3, and I knew that it would have plenty of power
Oh yeah,
anything in a small little Bronco. So I wasn't too worried about that. I feel
and
like
they make a lot of components if you want them.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff is the same as on the Ranger.
Yep.
But yeah, no, a lot of people want a V8 in the Bronco. Yeah, the sound would be nice, but these turbo engines are they're way better than just the straight V8s and everything that's out there now. Like the technology is just way better. You've got way more torque, more fuel efficiency. When the turbos kick in for hauling, just everything's better. So
yeah, and
here the sound. If they could just tune the sound to make it sound like a V8, I think people would be a lot happier. But
yeah, I know it would. I'm getting used to it though. Dude 51 does. He had a couple comments here. Let's go back to that one. So the 7 quarts now, Steph, I know you have the 2.3, but on the 2.7, there's that discrepancy between how much oil should you put in it. The Ford engineers have clearly said, and they made it a point, 7 quarts of oil is what goes in the 2.7. Now, what we did here, because some people, there's a longer drain back period in the 2.7, meaning if you crank it up, turn it off for 15 minutes and drain the oil, you're not going to get 7 quarts out of it. You're going to get 6 1/4, 6.5. So what happened?
Are you letting it drain though?
Well, some people are letting it drain until it becomes a slow drip. But even at that point, you'd have to let it drain like that for an hour or two to try to get that 1/2 quart out, because there is a long drain back period. So what we did was and I can only do this on a new engine, and I was going to explain why, but we plugged in the block heater and allowed the engine temperature to come out. I think it got to 149 degrees, and it was off for 2 days. When I drained it out, we got exactly 7 quarts out of it. And when you look at the dipstick, so Dude 51, if you go to the online owner's manual, find the dipstick in there. I forget what it's under, oil maintenance or checking oil or something like that. If you look at the picture of that dipstick, they show the max just over that top hole over the hash marks. So you have the hash marks, then you have the little hole. They actually show it right there as max. I took out 7 and I put in 7. That's what they say it holds. I'm not worried about it. So I just stick with 7.
Yeah.
But
no, I think people are overthinking it.
Yeah, it was just the reason why I did the video was because so many videos saying, hey, it doesn't hold 7 quarts. And I know some engines have a longer drain back. And, we did this so we had all the oil drained out of the bottom. Yeah. And then I unscrewed the canister, the oil filter canister, which technically you're supposed to do first. Yeah. But I did it last just to say, okay, there's no dripping out of the pan. Let's see if we get some now. Yeah. But what happens in that 2 days is that slowly drained out, right?
Oh, out of the filter.
Yeah. So if you turn it off after 15 minutes of running and then let it drain and then open it, you would see some run out because it hasn't slowly drained back yet.
Yeah.
So D51 is saying he got 7 quarts on the drain, but put 7 back in, and the oil is above the twist in the dipstick.
Right. So if you look at the hash marks, just above the hash marks, a little hole, mine is about 2/16 above that is where the oil 7 quarts put it in mine. So,
I know. Sorry. I know I talked to the techs at work, and they said that the 2.7, like when they get a truck in for an oil change, that the first thing they'll do, they'll take the plug out, unscrew the cap on top and the filter, and then they'll start doing like their walk around inspection while they let it drain. So, and then they'll go and get the oil and go get the filter. So it does take a lot longer, they said, than like a 5 liter to drain.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people weren't letting it drain enough or not taking into account the oil left in the filter.
And you also have oil sits in the bearing assembly and the turbos. You have a little bit in the line. There's a place or two in the engine. If you add all that up, it's probably about a half a quart.
Yeah.
Cece just mentioned, if you take out exactly what comes out, should be good. So the idea there is you crank it up, you let it get warm, but you don't, especially in an older engine, the reason why you want to run it right before you drain it is you want all those small particles that settle to the bottom of the oil pan. You want to become suspended.
Yeah, you want it in the oil.
Right. So they drain out with the oil. The only reason I did my video like that in a new one is because it's a new engine. I wasn't worried about sediment. However, we had less metal shavings in the filter than I thought I would have. So I was pleased very much. But the reason why, CC, is because when you drain, if you drain out 6.5 quarts and put 7 in it, now essentially you could argue you're a half a quart, too much. So, or you could put 6 in and just, try it incremental.
Now, Do 51 is saying also, again, I'm way above the hash mark in the max fill hole. So
here's what I would do.
Interesting.
Here's what I would do. I would, if you want to swing another oil change, I would, crank it up, let it get warm, and open the drain plug, open the oil fill cap to give the engine some drafts, so you don't have any kind of airlock, and let it drain for 3 or 4 hours. Measure what get a new 7-quart little plastic pan from AutoZone. They have them. Put it under there and just measure exactly what comes out over an extended period of time. Now, if you do that, you should get all the oil out, including that slow drain back, and then put 7 quarts back in. And then what you could do, put in 6, and then keep measuring until you get to full. But when I say full, look at the owner's manual. I recommend putting it where the owner's manual says, which is above the hash marks, slightly. But if you go check it out, I was amazed to see that, by the way. But if you're anywhere in that hash mark, when you talk to the techs at work, do they ever mention anything about oil burn? How much oil that they expect a boosted engine to lose over, say, 5,000 miles or 10?
Not
Which
much.
hopefully nobody's going 10.
No. With the boosted engines,
Yep,
they're not really burning oil.
well, it's not really burning. You have if you're running it hard, you have blow by.
Yeah,
Right.
Maybe a half a quart, maybe.
Right. And I think that's why Ford has that 7 quarts there.
There's a min max. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to do any damage if you're at the minimum or the maximum, or
Right.
just a little over or just a little under. Like that's what I mean. Like, I feel people are
Overthinking.
seeing these numbers and they're overthinking it. Like, if the manual says 7, but you got to make sure you drain it enough. But if you're not draining it enough and you want to do 6.5, do 6.5. Like, it's. And here's my question, because I work at a dealership and I see people come and buy their own oil and filter sometimes. And it's like, well, are you really saving that much doing it yourself
Well,
than going to the dealership?
and that would depend on the service at the dealership that's closest to them. So I would say that some people want to have that hands-on. Like I'm showing my son how to change the oil, right? So he, at 10 years old, he's figuring this stuff out. Oh, wow. That, the other thing is because of my history with engines, I like doing the oil sample, seeing how much acids in the oil, how much non-spent fuel, right? Raw fuels in it. I'm looking for alloys, I'm looking for what do I feel like the engine's life's going to be at 50,000 miles or so? Yeah. It's like getting blood work done. Yeah. Now, is it necessary? Do you have to do that? No, it's just what somebody that builds engines wants to do, because, and so I get that, but you're right. I mean, the easy thing to do is take it to the dealer and get it done. But for someone that wants to be hands-on, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know that you really save much of anything if you factor in your time, other than wanting to do it, like you're saying. Yeah. But that being your thing. For me, it's going to the dealer.
Yeah. And there again, so the dealer where I bought the Bronco, they could work on anything that I own and I have zero concerns about it. But there's another dealership that I wouldn't let them work on, Gavin's bike, just
Yeah.
because the quality of service we've received is horrible. Now, like I said, my dealer, exact opposite. They're great. The techs, I don't know where they get their techs from, but
Yeah.
they seem to be on the the upper echelon of tech.
It's hard to get text now.
Yeah.
Nowadays. It's yeah.
Yeah. I agree. So, all right. Well, we haven't, let's see. I didn't want to ask you, the personal questions there. So
Go ahead.
the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
are you bringing family into it more, or is it sort of, is it your dad that was in some of the YouTube videos? There was somebody in a YouTube video with you before. Who drives the Subaru?
Oh, that's my best friend.
That's your best friend. And then has
That's
your dad
actually-
ever been in one, or your kids?
What's that?
Has any of your family ever been in your videos, or?
My kids
Okay.
have been in. My wife, just fleeting. You'll see my whole family in the next video.
Perfect.
I just want to touch on that Subaru video. I don't know for everyone watching if you've seen it. The thumbnail says Bronco versus Subaru. Okay, this is my best friend, so we always, we're always picking on each other and whatnot. And
did someone give you grief over that?
I got the new Bronco, very popular. He got the new Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition, which in the Subaru world was very rare at the time and hard to get. So he came down and we went on my land. We were just going to go and have a little drive around and have a little fire, hot dogs with the kids. And we just said, let's do a fun video of follow the Bronco. So test your Subaru out. So I made a versus video. Now people are going in. I don't know if they're watching the whole thing, but the comments are, people are taking it serious. Like I'm actually comparing a Ford Bronco with like front and rear lockers to, all-wheel drive station wagon. Like the Subaru was great, and like he did really well. But the video is just me picking on him the whole time because he keeps getting stuck.
Hey, Steph, let's go back to this oil thing here. Dude51 said, yeah, I agree. $60,000 vehicle, it's yours, and you're using AMSOIL. So AMSOIL is a very, very good oil. Now, Steph, one thing, I don't know if the mechanics have this figured out yet. I have and I'm sure some of them do, I have a theory that on the 2.7s, the one that we've seen not, make it too long, that it's something called LSPI. And what Dude51's using with AMSOIL, their detergent level. So there's different types of detergent. I don't know exactly their chemistry, but the more calcium that's in an oil, the more chances you have of LSPI in an engine, in a boosted engine. And so he's using a really good oil. I don't know where he could go to get an oil change, but like he's saying, he wants to make sure that it's done. And I get that. I have a 66 Mustang GT that, we hand built the entire car. No one is working on that. So I do get it. And honestly, I'm the same way. So but he's using an AMSOIL, which is a really, really good full synthetic. But anyway, so back to oil. So, hey, Dude51, I do understand, and I can definitely appreciate that for sure. Let's see, what else do we have here? So, the reason why I ask about the family stuff, are you planning on traveling down to the States, or can you guys leave now? Or
Can't
what's
leave right now, but we were talking about that the other day. Yeah, maybe next year if COVID calms down a little bit and starts to go away. Maybe in January, we were thinking of maybe taking a trip down to Florida or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, so in April, right around April, I don't have the exact date memorized, but there's a Super Celebration East. And if you could plan your Florida trip where you stop through there on the way, that would be a blast, because I don't know how many Broncos. It's been going on for years, but it's been, early model Broncos.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this year how many. But are there any Bronco get-together or clubs where you are?
Well, I did start one in my area called North Shore Broncos.
Oh, perfect.
There's probably 20 of us now, but because of COVID, we can't really gather. Like right now, we're in the red zone, so.
Gotcha.
Well, you pass each other down the road and wave, and hi. Yeah. So we I definitely want to start one in our area, because I don't think there's one in our area that is doing the stuff that we want to do, right? And so, like I said today, I saw a racer red Outer Banks with, I think it had 3-day tags on it. So I know if chances are they live in my area. So it's, there's more and more and more starting to show up. So I think because that's something about the Bronco community, it's Supercell East proved it to me that it was just a huge group of very nice people. And my son was there talking to everybody, and everybody talked to him. It's just a really, really good atmosphere, at least what we experienced.
Oh, nice. That was last year, was it?
That was last year, yes. So that was the first time I was able to ride in a Bronco. Now, I was able to drive the Bronco Sport, but in the full-size Bronco, you could only be a passenger. We had our driver was Kyle from Moab, and a really, really good guy. And he put his foot in that thing, and it was, to seeing him doing the dealer parade, going around to different dealers, and you could sit in it, but you couldn't hear it run or drive it.
Yeah.
To riding in one like that, I called my wife and I said, it is everything they've sold it to be.
Oh, they nailed it out of the park. Yeah.
So I was like, what did you think about the reveal? Like when you were watching it, were you getting excited? Like,
oh yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
I had seen the spy shots already, so. No, I've wanted a Bronco to be like, before it was even announced, I think back in like, when was it, 2016, the rumors started coming that they were maybe going to come out. And I've just been on the Bronco 6G forums for years, just hoping and hoping. Like, I wasn't on there every day, but every couple of months I would kind of Google and see if there was any rumors of a Bronco coming back out. And I don't know if you remember the old render they had. It was like an F-150.
Yeah.
Into a Bronco. Yep. And we all thought that was, I would have been happy with that. But when they came out with this is just, it's like, it's way better than anything I could imagine. Because it looks like the 1960s Bronco, which is the best looking one.
I agree. What was the movie with The Rock in it? Dwayne Johnson.
Rampage.
Yeah. So that Bronco there was the closest thing, obviously, to what we have. And I remember that one. So there was two things that came out years ago, and it was like that titanium color, that silver color. Before the Ford GT came out, there was a rendering of something. It was close to the actual finished product. But then they had a Bronco back then, and they seemed to go through these real, these boxier designs. Yeah. And then I was looking at the vehicles they had and where the trend was going, and I said, I don't see them doing that, really ever. So when I saw the 6th generation Bronco, I was pleased that they kept a lot of that original design from, the overall root design of the first one in there. It's just, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's, the move was bold. And that reveal, though, I tell everyone it should get some kind of a Grammy or Emmy or whatever they give out to stuff like that.
It was great. Look at all the people that signed up.
I mean, I was watching it. My son and I we were just, I felt like I was in a daze, because I was like, no, I mean, every 5 minutes there was this new button, there was this new feature, there was this new, and the next day I talked to a Jeep person. He's like, well, Jeep's in trouble. Because he watched it too, and he says, I cannot believe the stuff that we pay thousands to get done aftermarket is done at the factory.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, listen, I'm going to have to run real quick. It was nice chatting with you.
Nice meeting you.
We'll watch your next.
She's leaving me home alone in the studio.
It's been fun as always.
Yeah.
Don't trip over all those cords.
I know.
So thank you so much.
Sure. Have fun.
I will. All right, Steph, we're going to go just a few more minutes and we'll go. You want to go through some of the comments here? Can you see them on your end?
Yeah, I can see them.
All right. Let's see. Let's start at the bottom, go up. CC, 2004 concept Bronco, got me stoked. Yeah. I think that is the Bronco that I'm talking about, because the GT came out in 06.
Yeah, no,
that was an 07.
2004 one is the one that was in Rampage. Do you know who I feel bad for?
Who? Chevy
Blazer fans.
Oh, come on, man. I'm going to park next to a Blazer and take a picture of it and say, look, hey,
can
guys,
you imagine
you almost had it.
Oh,
yeah.
If Ford did that, I would have been so angry. Oh,
Well, hey, as a Mustang guy now, years ago, they were saying that the Probe, when the Ford Probe came out, that was going to be the replacement for the Mustang. At least that was the rumor.
oh,
And and there were some unhappy people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was now I like the Probe. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
the
You
Mustang
don't
has to
have the
stay.
classic.
Yeah. And look, as a diehard Mustang person, I'm not upset over the Mach E. I think I think maybe you could have just called it a Mach E. But I like it. It's that part of that building, that sub brand.
Yeah.
So the 3 Broncos and the Broncos sub brand and the Mustangs, so on. So,
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, is classify it in sub brands. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's smart, right? And I mean, in the times that we live in, it's smart. Ford's under some pretty incredible leadership right now. Like every month there's something new, and I'm just like, man, it's a great time to be a Ford fan.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I've actually bought some Ford stock after the Bronco got announced. I bought some Ford stock.
Smart.
I knew when I saw what they were coming out with the Mustang, the Mach-E, the Bronco, the Ford Lightning, like they're nailing everything. Like it's going up from here. Like,
yeah. Payment has now said that you can buy your own oil and have your dealer do it. That's a great option as well.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any oil loss from the 2.0 Focus. Yep. So, yep. And the 2.0 Focus. Yeah. The EcoBoost engines. Have you seen my video on the EcoBoost, by the way? 2.3 and a 2.7.
No.
Yeah, I break them down pretty well. A lot of people think that the 2.3 now is the lineage from years ago, but it's completely different engines.
Oh yeah.
The Duratec program is really a solid deal, and that's what the predecessor to the EcoBoost was, Duratec.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yes, if you drain. Yeah, I got you. I'm just going back through some of these. What are you going to do? Any interior modifications, or have you that I've just missed? Have you done anything like inside?
I have a bunch on the way. I have for everybody who has aux switches, I have the perfect sunglass holder mod coming that I didn't.
Wow.
I want to install some, because I didn't get the Lux package, so I don't have the chargers up top for my GoPros. I'm actually I bought some 12-volt USB plugs, and I want to wire those, I think, straight to the battery so that I can charge even if I walk out of the Bronco, because a GoPro is not going to kill my battery.
Right.
What else? I do have a nice wireless charger for your cell phone video coming up.
Yeah, the accessories for charging, think about now what we're doing with, GoPros and phone chargers and stabilization and wireless.
All that, yeah.
Hey, by the way, un-Bronco related, but to YouTube, you use the Rode wireless mic.
Yeah, I just got it recently.
I'm assuming you like it.
I do. It'll make you realize how grunty and how heavy you breathe, though. Especially if you're doing physical stuff like taking the tops off or the doors off. So I'm editing a lot of my grunts out and heavy.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Well, I was changing the oil. I had on my wireless mic, and a buddy of mine was like, dude, when did you start smoking? I said, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
He said, oh, you sounded like.
Yeah, because it's so close.
Yeah.
But it is great because I used to use the Rode mini mic on top. But like if it's facing me, sorry, I'm looking at the camera. If it's facing me, it gets the audio good. But then I want to show something, and I turn it. Then the mic's facing the other way, and then it sounds muffled. So that's why I got the Rode wireless. So it's really good, but you got to get used to it, and you got to watch your grunting and your breathing.
It just makes editing hard. I have the Samsung wireless mic, and you can add other receivers, and you can actually there's a handheld, like if you're doing an interview, right? Mm-hmm. You want to just be able to pass a mic back and forth. So there's some cool stuff out there, but no, I do like the Rode on that. So we have to start doing more action videos. I told my wife, I said, now with this Bronco here, we are going to do it. We're joking earlier about me not getting mine dirty, even though I wanted to keep it as new as possible for that,
Well,
like the intro to our video. You can see the video underneath it.
mhm.
It's going to be kind of cool to see it in a year and look at all the stuff underneath it, the scratches on the skid plates, the mud that I can't wash out.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of beach stuff around here. So we have the actual Outer Banks, what the Outer Banks was named after. And so there's different parts of the Outer Banks. There's Corova, there's Kill Devil Hills, there's Hatteras, Frisco. I mean, I could keep going on, but different places that you can enter the beach at different times of the year.
Yeah.
And it's like everywhere else. You have to drive like you have some sense, and there's you drive just like you're on the road.
Yeah.
You park a certain way, so it's just not like Wile E. Coyote type stuff. You actually have to, so we don't really have that place where you just can go let it loose like they do, I think, up in Michigan somewhere.
Okay.
There's some place up there. Somebody can tell me in the comments, but there's like the sand park up there, but you have that playground kind of all to yourself, kind of. So yeah. You are blessed. Yeah. I'm Gone in 60 said the Bronco Sport would kill the new Blazer off the road. Yeah. I drove a Bronco Sport Badlands, and I was super, super impressed in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The capabilities of that thing, it doesn't get justice done in the write-ups. Yeah. Like
they're nice.
Well, we drove 3 of them.
Find them. I mean,
yeah. They can take a beating, that's for sure. So, all right. So what's the big plans for I Let You Go? Tell us without ruining your next video. What can we look out for when everybody leaves here and subscribes to your channel?
Just some more me getting stuck in the snow. Some more modifications. I'd say trips, but once COVID calms down a little bit, probably head out on some group off-roading rides and stuff like that. Camping, overlanding. I'll probably do some winter camping on our piece of land with the Bronco.
Now, you said in one video you're building a camp. Did you build that already?
No, that'll be next year.
Perfect. And
that's the thing too. Like, I've been heavy on the Bronco stuff, but like my motto for the channel was kind of gonna be like Broncos and chainsaws, because I'm in the woods a lot. I have a portable sawmill, so you'll probably see more tree harvesting, some wood cutting, firewood cutting, sawmill. And this summer we're going to start building our camp, so using the Bronco to shuttle everything, going back and forth. So you'll see some of that. You'll see some more family trips into the spot where we're going to build a camp, just campfires and stuff like that. Just the outdoors.
What about the custom? You're talking about wood. You do select cut. Mm-hmm. Is it a certain type of tree? Is this for people making furniture out of, or
for the sawmill?
Yeah.
No, like the softwood.
Okay.
I'll cut for myself to make like a construction lumber, like 2x4s, 2x6.
Okay, gotcha.
Like that. And the hardwood I'll cut for firewood.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I didn't know if you were supplying a certain, furniture.
Just for a family, yeah. And when we say selective cut, it's a forest management strategy, I guess.
Got it.
As opposed to clear cutting.
Yep.
We'll leave about 30%, I guess, of the forest there, the healthier trees, and it'll encourage growth, and it's good for the animals, and it's good for regeneration of the forest, and it just keeps it a renewable resource. So it's good for the environment.
Well, I like that. It doesn't look like the surface of the moon when you're done,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool. We wanted, one of the biggest things about a Bronco club is I'd like to be able to get enough people that were active in it to go out and, do a cleanup somewhere or a tree planting thing, which, that type stuff. Because, look, I'm in the construction business. We use lumber all the time, and we clear, not clear cut, but we do clear like spot lots or something to build houses or additions or something like that. And so that's what I do for a living. And mostly, flipping houses, which I hate that term, but that's what people know it by. So
Oh,
if I
yeah.
say I'm a real estate developer, they're like, you just build. Well, I'm a builder. Well, you build for other people. No, I build for us and I sell, or I buy houses that are,
Mhm.
1 foot in the grave and bring them back to life.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to figure out a way to bring the Bronco into that mix. You
Hmm.
know,
Well,
I-
throw a
not,
hitch on it and haul your get a trailer.
yeah, no. Well, I don't do the work. I don't do the physical work, but
Okay.
I could be the delivery guy, right? Yeah. So we'll figure it out. I think on our next big project, though, I think we're going to do something like that. But what I was saying was, we do cut stuff down, and we're using lumber products. I just like the idea of leaving wherever we go. If we go camping or off roading, leave it better than we found it.
Yes. For
And
sure.
one of the cool things, well, so you haven't been to Bronco off rodeo, of course, but if you get a chance to go,
Mhm.
to me, there was people there that off road a lot, and they left at the last day because I think now it might be 1 day, but then it was a day and a half,
Okay.
and they would say that they legitimately learned something
Mhm.
because those trail guides that we had, at least in our group, they were great. Like
Yeah.
it
Seems to
gave
be
me
the
the comfort,
consensus.
right, of rock crawling. I don't rock crawl,
No.
but I feel like if I'm out in the mountains here, Shenandoah Mountains in Virginia, and I'm going up a trail and there's a rock ledge, and I'm not throwing anything crazy, but I mean,
Yeah.
I feel more confident now to maneuver it.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh,
So
somebody's asking how the manual's holding up. It's great. It's uh, the more you drive it, the more I don't know. I always found that a manual transmission kind of connects you with your vehicle,
yeah,
and the first couple weeks, you're maybe like it's not as smooth because you're kind of figuring out where the gears are and everything.
yeah,
And somebody actually made a comment about the fifth gear was kind of awkward. And it was at first, but I've been thinking about it the last few days driving, and now it's smooth. It's just I push forward, and
yeah.
I'm in there. So loving the manual, no regrets.
Well, it's it's
Full
it's
manual
it's
all the
becoming
time.
habit. It's going from the conscious mind to the subconscious. So now you're just
Exactly.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overlanding for fun said I can be the guy that brings the coffee and donuts.
There you go.
So the next time I go get a coffee somewhere, I'm going to put my head mount on, and I'll
Yeah.
film it for you.
Yeah.
So somebody can say some of the oddest stuff. You could probably do a TV show on the stuff that comes through drive-throughs, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Let's see. Lots of groups here in North Georgia. Okay. Well, that's Bronco 78. That's awesome. I definitely see that's what we need around here. We need definitely to do that. How's that manual holding up? You just answered that. And then there's a spam. Or I'll go clean these up here. I don't know what some of these links are. The Bronco Sport. I think for yeah. But you were mentioning the Blazer earlier. One thing I didn't hit. What do you think they're going to do with that? Are they going to pull the plug on it and maybe try to come up with that Bronco type vehicle, or is that not in their cards? I don't know if you follow GM at all.
I think I heard they're going to try to turn the Blazer into like the Bronco Sport. And what did I hear? They were going to come out with a Blazer HD or something.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to. But
yeah,
you know what? I hope they do, because the more we have out there, the better Ford's going to be, the better Jeep's going to be, the better Toyota's going to be. One thing that I'm actually anxious for is the new Ranger coming out. I think it's only in 2 years of
Yeah.
North America, but I don't know if you've seen the new Ranger, the
I
new
have.
global Ranger. It looks really good. It looks beefier and more aggressive.
Yeah. Mike Levine does a lot of Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And that's where I first saw it when he was posting it there. And of course, I love seeing the post there because it's always that new model, and it is a nice looking truck.
Yes.
Here's one thing about the Maverick and the Ranger. In the beginning, I really didn't understand why both of them. Well, they had a car show here. It was a dealers association car show, so it was a select manufacturers show, meaning it wasn't like Chicago or New York. They had a Maverick, I think it was the XLT,
Okay.
and then they had a Ranger here.
Mm-hmm.
You could legitimately next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell why one While they're both here, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the Maverick feels like a car.
Yes.
More like if you like a car, you like a 4-door car with a pickup bed. That's it. If you want a truck, a smaller truck, that's the Ranger. They're different vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do more videos on the Ranger too. This is our, I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
Oh, wow.
So we actually did it up quite nice. There's a lift, bigger tires.
What's the fog lights now? Is it just a picture or is it a different color?
It's just the way the picture is.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we put a hood scoop on it, lift, big tires. It's the blacked out package. So it's a nice looking Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's I mean, I like them. I saw one the other day. It was somebody had done aftermarket type stuff, and they made a good like an overlanding vehicle out of it. There was some type of cover in the back, and I think they had a place for like a Yakima roof tent or some type of roof mounted tent.
Yeah.
Of course, not on the roof of the truck, but on the whatever this contraption was on the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, the roof.
So that's pretty cool. But I'll tell you, now that we had to switch my first Bronco to a soft top to get it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have the MIC top, I'm seriously looking at doing something like that. Gavin had plans. He wanted us to do the roof mounted tent, and that was it. And then we said, okay, well, we're going to have to do ground tent. I think now we can, probably invest the $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever they call it. It may be more than that. For a roof mounted tent and do that. But all right, are you ready to go, or is it past your bedtime? You get up early. I've seen some of the posts that you make.
Yeah.
God, man.
Well, yeah, I get up around 5.
So are you an hour ahead of us or behind us?
Well, right now it's 10:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I need to let you go then. Getting late.
Just one more question that I see somebody asked if any word on beefier steering components coming for the Bronco. There are some working parts. So I've seen some part numbers from Ford Performance. They will, I think it's tie rod ends, and I think I saw a beefier steering rack. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but tie rod ends are coming though.
Gotcha.
I know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's I mean, look, I guess if you've got that much flex going in the vehicle and you put the tires on there, you're changing the geometry, so it's causing the issue. I've seen that online where was it Bronkbuster?
Yeah.
Has
look at what they're doing though. It's just like the oil thing. I feel like people are over worried about it.
Yeah.
They're rock crawling. And not easy stuff. They're like hitting the hard trails.
Real legit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
have you seen people taking their Broncos through the Devil's Bathtub? I think it is out in Moab.
Yeah. It was a red one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I'm sorry. Now I know somebody joked. I didn't get it for that. I did get it to go off-road.
Yeah. But like 90% of us are not going to need the stronger components. So, but they are coming out with it. And you can get that Bronkbuster. They came out with it's kind of a plate that goes over it and reinforces your tie rod ends. But the thing with that though is if you do that, it's always going to break at the weakest point. And if you remove that weakest point, then you're going to your steering rack, and that costs a lot more than the tie rod end. So I'd rather my tie rod breaks than the steering rack.
Yeah. Do you know why? Now, this is something that caught me off guard. Do you know why Ford added the different sway bar on the 22s?
I didn't even know the sway bar disconnect. Or?
Yes, no, a rear sway bar. So I've got to research it. I'm just throwing it out there. I have not even checked into it. Someone mentioned it.
Really?
And then over on Bronco 6G today, I was reading. It said changes for 22 as of now, like stuff that people have figured out. The climate control was one of them. Yeah. The rear sway bar was one.
Well, what's the thing about it?
I have no idea. That's why I've got to do my research. That's where a lot of this stuff is.
I
hear people. Well, hey, I have two. I'll just I'll take the creepers. Yeah. But I think I actually read that late last night.
Yeah.
And then again, I read it on Bronco 6G today. I figured, what the heck? Let's back them up there and let's do a video underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be a good video.
There's about 5 or 6 things.
I'm gonna check the parts catalog tomorrow and compare the 21 and 22.
Yeah, do that, because when someone mentioned it, I was like, okay, well, I'll check into it, because I always hear stuff that doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
But then over on Bronco 6G, it was listed there, and I was like, all right, well, now I'm getting it from a reliable source.
And it's good that they're probably picking up some weak points, and they're going to do minor tweaks every year, right? They're going to adjust as they go, for sure.
Well, and it's not going to stay static. I mean, there's always going to be that new button, that new, whatever. Yeah. I'll tell you, and you're talking about the transmission, learning your driving.
Yeah.
There is a difference, and it's so strange that I can't pick up what the difference is. But there's something different about driving the two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's there's throttle response is different, but that could be maybe even the computer learning, right? Mm-hmm. My driving. Whereas you say with the first one, you got in it, you started driving it, and it slowly changed, so you don't really notice it.
Yeah.
But now I'm able to go from one to the other, and so obviously it's going to be more noticeable.
Yeah, you see it, yeah.
Well, everyone, if you have any questions, this is last call for that thing you need to know from Steph with North Shore Bronco. And when we end the stream tonight, head on over and hit that subscribe button there, and like some video, watch it. It's really good content. There's a lot of Bronco stuff out there, and I watch a video here and there, but your channel is something that earlier we were playing it on the TV before the show there, and it's just, you got really cool. It's not over the board. It's not crazy. And, it's just good content. So good job.
I try to do for everyday people who are going to be using the Bronco.
Yep. So, well, I really appreciate you coming on today or this evening with us. And sorry it's so late there.
No, that's fine.
I should have looked at the time. But anyways, and thanks for, as we change all this technology in here, I have to change with it, I guess. So check us out next week. We're going to have another guest on. I have a guest coming up in a few weeks. Let me just say that is going on a pretty epic adventure. So check out our live streams. I don't know what it'll be like mid-February. Okay. It's going to be cool. So
right on.
Anyway, all right. Thanks a lot now. And you and I are we're going to break here, but don't go anywhere on the stream. I'm going to stick with you guys. All right, Steph, see you.
All right, see you.
All right, see you. Bye. All right, so everyone, so let's see. There we go. So what is everyone up to tonight? Have you seen where I got my Eruption Green? Hey, Step. Oh, there we go. We're out now. I got my Eruption Green Badlands. Now, I wanted to say something earlier that even though we're going to do content on it, we're going to talk about it, but I feel bad for those who haven't received their first Bronco yet. And, we have the video on what happened, the reason why, our Bronco got pulled like 11 months before we really wanted it to. And it was initially, and that was because of a deadline from Ford type thing. And I just missed the deadline. It was my fault, totally my fault. However, we have it now and we're grateful, right? We're appreciative. So it won't sound like we're whining about it. I didn't want anybody to hate me because we got it. But I will tell you that we're going to plan on doing plenty of content. So maybe there's a Bronco out there, you have a color selected and you start to see, and you still have time to change, and you have this Eruption Green, or maybe you're thinking about it and you see the videos and you don't like it. And so that settles it, or maybe you do like it. That's how I relied on what colors we picked for the first one. Area 51 was that color. I was able to describe it to someone. I said, listen, if you want a color that is really, gets attention, there's a lot of metal flake in it, it's bright, even though it's a medium color, almost dark in some light, but when you sit in the sunlight, you understand when I say bright and loud. And then what happens is you have Area 51. If you like that chilled color, that's kind of laid back, stealthy kind of a thing, Area 51 is your color. So one is not better than the other. They're kind of different. I wanted both because, I was looking at Cyber Orange originally, but if it was more of an orange, like an orange peel, I think that's the Orange Peel Crush or something on the Mustang, that would like orange in a heartbeat. But that green is that next color. It's not the boxwood, like the early Bronco, that sort of heritage thing. But can you imagine? And you've seen this before, I'm sure. You take the Eruption Green Bronco, paint the MIC top, or when a hardtop comes out for it, you just buy a white one. Do some white wheels on it, white grill, or not even maybe pure white, but like an off-white, antique type white or whatever. That is going to make a really, really cool deal. Mike Max, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tuning kit for the Bronco. So I don't know if you're asking about them. I know that the 2.3 has a tuning kit from Ford. If it hasn't been released, it's soon. I think it might be. I know the 2.7 is supposed to get it. Let's see. Okay, never mind, Paul. I see the first comment now. I don't have an update on it. I want to check into that because I was interested in the 2.7. But let's see where it's at. Maybe we'll do a video on that. The 2.3 tuning kit. Where are they at with it? Is it out? I don't know. Someone may know, but I will find out. Trust me. Let's see. I'm Gone in 60 was talking about the splint, and that was on the steering as well. Let's see. Tomorrow's a big day, 6 a.m. They're going to announce the features. They're going to announce the Bronco Raptor. So it's going to be that's going to be a cool deal. We need to be up for that. We talked about the steering components, and hey, and if I didn't mention you tonight, I am so sorry about that. Rocco, John, CC, Bluford. Let's see. Overlanding for Fun, Bronco 78. Let's see. I'm Gone in 60. CC, there we go. William. Hey, William, how are you doing? I really appreciate that. Yep. Pillow time, you got to go. So if you watch this in replay, thank you for checking the show out. And I think by Wednesday, we're going to announce next week's guest. We're going to have a really, really good guest next week as well. Let's see here. And like I said, after the stream, if you would, head on over, check out North Shore Bronco. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. He has really good content. The videos over there are really nice. My son and I were watching it, and it's one of those, I'm not some channels I don't let him watch. No issues there whatsoever. So check them out. It's good stuff. Let's see. I'm way above the hedge. Yeah, and Dude 51, if you are still watching the stream, I'd like to, if you're still here, take a picture of that sometime and message me over on Instagram, over at Bronco Wild Outdoors. I'd love to see that. That's interesting. That is definitely something I'm definitely interested in. Let's see what else. And I'm Gone in 60. I didn't see your comment earlier. I see it now. 400 horsepower, 2.3 Mustang with just a few bolt-ons. Yeah, the 2.3 is incredible. How that engine was designed, and it's that Duratec design, and they had some head issue or head gasket issue. I know they resolved that. So that is an awesome, awesome engine. So what time is it? It's like 9:40. Wow. So we had a busy weekend. Let me wrap up by saying, let's see, who's marked. Yeah, Bronco 78. I don't know. I was thinking about that. I said, well, I guess what happens, they're trying to take advantage of the entire day, and they're going to launch it, and then there's going to be videos on it, and I mean they'll probably, if I have the time, and I'm sure it's worthy of it. I'm definitely going to try to put something together for tomorrow, based on what I know about the Bronco Raptor now and what I think's coming. I think the engine. I think the engine's a 3.0. What I would like to see is a 2.7 built up. I think that would be cool, but it's probably most likely going to be a 3.0. Who knows? It could be a 3.5. It could be a 2.3. But I think with what they're doing with the Bronco and the torque requirements, I think it's going to be obviously 2.7 or higher. And a 3.0 is an all aluminum engine, similar to the 2.7. There's a few different changes. I don't know what type of oil pump it has. I don't know if it's crank driven or if it's chain driven. I know the 2.7 is belt driven. So I think the 3.0's got a lot of differences as well, being all aluminum. And the 3.5 obviously is is a solid engine as well. It's kind of crazy. The 3.5 is the core engine that's in the Ford GT. So, you know, Ford has some really good options when it comes to the V6s, the EcoBoost program. So I like them anyway. Yep, and Bronco 78, that is the rumor 3.0. I don't know if it was trying to throw us off, but there was some, I don't know if it was a press release, but someone said if it's going to shock a lot of people. And I was like, probably making me overthink it. But like I said before, the 2.7 would be, as an engine builder, my selection with some differences, right? But the 2.7 built up, but because the similarities between the 2.7 and the 3.0 are very close, they already have the 3.0 already capable of making the horsepower that the Bronco Raptor, I think, is going to have. If I had to guess, it's going to be 455 horsepower. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 390. You know, who knows? But I think it's going to be that 440 to 455. So we'll see what it is, and a torque of who knows what. So let's see what it's going to be. Tomorrow morning we'll find out. And let's see, I had a 3.3 twin turbo in my screen. Yeah, overlanding for fun. I'm not familiar with the 3.3, but all those 3-liter, especially anything, you know, charged or boosted. Let's see, with true dual exhaust. Yeah, so that true dual exhaust thing is interesting to me. I don't know if it's going to have an H pipe on it or not. Because they have that, well, let's see, if it's going to be like a 2.7, it should have an H pipe because it's going to be 2 monoscroll turbos. If it's the 2.7, you know, the 2.3 has the 1 dual scroll, and they do pulse balancing in the exhaust manifold. The dual chambers going to the turbo, whereas the 2.7, you know, they have a turbo on each side, and there's a little bit of balance in there, but I think it'll probably be true duals with an H pipe. Anyway, who knows? I don't know. Tomorrow morning, though, we will find out. So, yep, they'll have to get up early to be the first to know, and we'll be waiting. Okay. Yep, leaving out the West Coast and things. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, I'm going to wrap this up for the night. I am going to go get ready for the Bronco Raptor thing. We have some stuff to do right here after the show. And I do appreciate each and every one of you every single Sunday night. Look, we look forward to this. Gavin will be back next week. And every Sunday night at 8 p.m. We'll have a lot of videos dropping with the Eruption Green Badlands hardtop, MIC. And hope everyone likes it. So I am out. Thank you very much. Have a good one. And be blessed. Have a productive week. Be safe. And let's talk Bronco Raptor. See ya.